What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode review for Demon Slayer Season 2, the Entertainment District arc. This is episode 4, and with me, as always, I have Blue Spade.
hmm Yeah, so the episode picks up right after the post-credit scene. If anyone missed it in the last episode, it details on what happened to Zenitsu after the end of that last episode. So Tanjiro and Inosuke are discussing what they were investigating the night prior, and of course Inosuke details a lot of what happened on his end to Tanjiro, revealing that he may have found out what happened to one of Tengen's wives. And of course Tanjiro in his side, well, he finds out like maybe a few things in regards to the one of the other wives, but he doesn't get as far as Inosuke did. And then soon afterwards, Tengen arrives, and then he decides to not involve Tanjiro and Inosuke even further because of what happened to Zenitsu the night prior. So he decides to take it upon himself to finish the mission on his own rather than involve Tanjiro and Inosuke even further.
Yeah, we see Tengen trying to get information about where his wives might be. He actually interrogates this one guy who I guess he's one of the heads of the brothel or whatever, asking what he knows about what was that woman's name? Wabara Hime, or the demon?
What was it? Daki?
Daki, yeah. She basically kind of tells him about her. And then he asks where she might be. So then, once he knows that, he just kind of, he's going off to try to find her. But then the episode also starts with, I can't remember this woman's name either. I actually at first got her confused with Daki because they kind of look a little bit similar.
I think they call her Koinatsu.
Yeah, I think so. But at first I thought it was actually Daki because they kind of look a little bit the same. So I was a little bit confused. I was like, she's acting really out of character. And then I was like, oh, this is a different person. But yeah, basically she kind of talks briefly to Tanjiro, talking about how she's going to be leaving the next day and she's going off to get married. And I felt like it was a little bit of a, that seemed like might be a death flag of sorts. Because, of course, after Tanjiro leaves, Daki comes in and pretty much takes her with her ribbons. And Tanjiro doesn't realize that until he smells her. He has her scent, after he leaves. Also, the conversation between her and Tanjiro, Tanjiro is no longer in his disguise, and she mentions about how she always knew that he was a man, because I thought that aspect of this arc was a little bit ridiculous. How nobody seems to have picked up on that, but at least she knew the whole time. Because I was almost thinking there's no way she's still fooled by this, even though he's no longer in his disguise. But of course she was never fooled. So I kind of liked that they addressed that because I thought that was kind of
and of course. And of course, she never really told anyone else about that whole thing. But there was another scene when we see Inosuke, and it's kind of a weird and funny scene at the same time, in which Inosuke just summons his muscle mice to bring his swords to him.
Yeah, and then of course he just puts on the boar head and just storms out of the house.
Yeah, but that's basically it. And then of course we go back to Tanjiro, going back to Koinatsu's room, and then of course he finds Daki who's in the middle. I guess she's using her obi sashes to devour Koinatsu's body physically. It's just you can see you can only see Koinatsu's upper half of her body left, and then the bottom half is just consumed by the sashes.
Oh, we should mention before this happens too that Tanjiro and Inosuke actually meet up on a roof, where Inosuke is I guess there's trading information, but apparently he brings us up about the Demon Slayer rankings, that he mentions he's at the Konoe rank, and you can actually see it. It shows up on your hand. So he says if you flex your muscle, it'll show up on your hand. and apparently that's because of something they did during the initial training at the, forget what it was called, Wisteria Mountain or something. Because of what they did to him. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I actually didn't even know anything about a ranking system until now.
I mean, it did. I think I kind of forgot about the whole ranking.
I mean, I know
system.
obviously there's like a hierarchy because we
season.
have the Hashiras and then the regular like demon slayers.
Yeah, I like that whole the Demon Slayer ranking system like completely flew my mind. I mean, I knew about it since the first season, but I kind of forgot about it since then.
Yeah.
But I think it's great that they've give out the rankings a little bit more in detail, and it does make sense that Tanjiro and the others have been promoted since then. I mean, they obviously been through a lot by beating the spider demons and then going through what happened in Mugen Train, and then and of course there are like several time skips here and there, which makes a lot of sense of why they're currently at the rank that they are. I think they're in the lower, like one rank lower, with I think it was like Kanoe. Or
I guess that's why Inosuke calls it that.
Yeah. But yeah, so the last few minutes of the episode was pretty much the fight between Daki and Tanjiro. And of course, Tanjiro unfortunately finds out the hard way that she like how powerful she is due to her being an upper rank demon.
Yeah, and then that woman was I guess she's been imprisoned in one of her ribbons. So I guess she's not dead, but she's just like I guess she's stuck in that ribbon. She can't get out. So yeah, of course, like Tanjiro manages to kind of hold her off for a bit, but then like of course right as the episode ends, he leaves Nezuko in her box and just like leaves her so she doesn't get involved. But of course, at the end of the episode, Tanjiro is like, about to get ready to fight Daki. As we know, of course, like I'm pretty sure he is going to eventually get assistance from like Tengen. We know Tengen's looking for Daki. And we're not exactly sure as of yet of the status of Zenitsu. He's probably just been in prison somewhere, if I could guess. And then like Inosuke might come to offer assistance. But yeah, for now it seems like Tanjiro is like he's saying like he'll have to try to fight her by himself, which I wonder how that's gonna work out for him. I think Nezuko might even try to help at some point too, if she sees Tanjiro is just like losing the fight.
She pretty much only shows up when Tanjiro's in real trouble, and I think, but obviously Tanjiro at his state is currently no match for Daki at this point. And considering that like she's only the second upper rank demon that Tanjiro is having to encounter, but it's actually the first one that he's really having to fight.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much where things end. I thought this was a pretty good episode. Of course, it's just, it seems like now we're finally getting, sort of like a proper altercation with the villain of this arc. So yeah, I don't really have much else to say about it. I thought it was pretty decent. I like that they're not trying to, at least they're pretty much done trying to pretend. I would assume probably trying to pretend they're women at this point in the story. So I'm kind of glad that that's kind of been done. That's kind of over with. And it's like and I think we're only like what like. I mean,
like
we're
1/3
we're 4 episodes in. There's going to be
already.
like 11 episodes. So I mean, we're almost halfway.
It sucks that like that we're only getting like 11 episodes of this arc, compared to compared to like the original season being like 24 some odd episodes.
Yeah, I also wonder if, of course, Asuka's going to show up at one point, because at the beginning of this arc, it seems like they're setting up some potential conflict with him. So, maybe Daki might not be the only demon that they have to worry about.
Or maybe there's like we might run into another upper ranked demon.
Yeah, because there are some we
line,
still really haven't gotten like a proper introduction to.
I think what was it? I can't remember how many upper rank demons there were. I think there was like they say there were 12, or did they say there was like 6?
Not exactly sure. I kind of wish it worked a little bit like Bleach, where with the Espada, how we already knew, like, you know, the Espada and their rankings and all that.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, it's. I mean, overall, it's. I felt like this was one of the best episodes of the new season so far. Honestly, it really flew by really quick, to be honest. Just
probably just because there's more happening in this.
Yeah, but yeah, so I guess we'll have to wait till next week to see what happens in this fight. We can obviously speculate that Tanjiro is going to eventually get some assistance from Tengen and Inosuke, who are pretty much obviously on their way to help out Tanjiro in some way.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't think he's going to be able to hold out against the upper rank demon by himself. But yeah, so that all being said, until next time, we will see you all later.